Yes, welcome back everybody to Sav Kas for 60 minutes. It's a very good one today because obviously our two teams played each other this week. So we've got a lot to talk about, although Kaz probably doesn't want to be here. But big up, Kaz. How are you, mate? Other than Man United, you good?
Yeah, man. Always Monday, fresh week, go back to Forest and we go again. You know, that's it. That's the way. So
Yeah,
sorry, Davey,
listen.
mate. Davey, if you're watching this back, you're going to get pummeled 3-0, mate.
Mr. Asprey. Listen, big up to everyone in the chat. Look, let's get straight into it. By the way, guys and girls, you know the rules. Smash the likes. Use it as your rent to be here. It's a free show, so please smash the likes. Subscribe to Kaz over at Never a Foul. His link is in the chat. And also subscribe to Savva, me at Football Heritage TV as we chase down 10,250 already. So it's been a crazy few days. Kaz, Man United away at Tottenham. Talk to me first of all. When you saw the team, I think Man United were unchanged as far as I could see. What were your thoughts? Were you disappointed? Do you think things needed to be changed from the Wolves game, or were you happy with it?
Ten Hag was never going to change the starting lineup and give everyone else a chance again to prove themselves. So I think he done that even last time as well, last year when we lost twice, one against Brighton and Brentford. We came against you in the first half, and when Man United miss sitters, right? As a United fan, you know it's going to be a long day after that. Like, you just know, this is, if we don't bury it now, then they're never going to get buried. So for me, the way I looked at it is we should be 3-0 up in the first half before Pedro Porro smashed the bar. That handball, justice is served, I suppose. Some would say. I don't know how that wasn't given, I'll be honest. I think VAR said, no, we messed up on Monday, so we got to let this slide. And, no outrage on that. And I think Bruno Fernandes's comments were right as well. Like, if you're going to make a meal out of anybody and say how much of a handball it was, then why isn't it the case for this one? Why isn't the referee and officials also suspended for such an outrage, right, for getting it wrong? So I look at it like that. But the first half, for the first 35 minutes, we were pressing. Bruno missed a sitter 2 yards out. I think Rashford missed a sitter. I think Vicario made a very good save in the end, but it's just like, that's the, that's Rashford for you when he plays down the middle more time. Garnacho, better touch, hit it first time, so goal. Mason Mount, better first touch, probably a goal as well.
Yeah.
You could even say Rashford, I think it wasn't even offside, that Bruno Fernandes, Travella kind of, cross across the box, that little flick he does between his legs.
Yeah. The Rabona.
Varane missed the open header as well, and I was like, oh mate. And then before you know it, Pedro Porro smacks the bar, and then Tottenham get confidence. And then after that, it's like Maddison started growing into the game, and then second half, if it wasn't for Onana, we'd probably lost 4-0. Luke Shaw passive as per usual. He had a good season. I was due a shit season, got his contract. Yeah, man, and I'd say you obviously deserve to win. If you dominate for that long for a second half, it's just like, how do you say, we should have won that game? We could have, we didn't, it happened. And it's like, how do you stretch that 35 minutes into at least 70 minutes of a game or more to go and do the correct job? So, well done to Spurs. Like, I wouldn't say that Spurs, though, played amazing, because other than when I think of the goals come through mistakes. Deflection, Luke Shaw, and this is what I said as well, that Ben Davies, Lissandro Martinez, mate, put your foot through it. But other than your midfield and Basuma, who looks like the new signing of the season at this moment of time, I look at the defense in the first half and stuff like that, and Ange's trying to do what he's trying to do, but any other team that had any bit of notion how to finish a football, into the back of a net, I think that's where Spurs need to look at maybe some defensive reinforcements a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe as well, even when you go forward, you need a striker, man. Richarlison is so crap. It was easy for Varane, like, collecting that ball every single time. It was just, I don't know. There was just that midfield, man. That midfield.
Yeah, I want to get into that. I was speaking with Saeed and Lee Gunner and LB about that just now, about the midfield, and that's where it was won and lost. And we will get to VAR in a bit, because I want to talk to you about, get your feelings on that. But in terms of the game. I mean, I'll be brutally honest. I thought the first 30 minutes, we rode our luck. I thought you had chances. Bruno had a guilt header right there, right in front of the goal. I thought you had a couple of shots low down that Vicario saved well. But after that, Kaz, I don't know, it just felt like, man, you kind of run out of ideas. I don't know. It just felt like once that little spell of pressure went, you didn't have anybody to kind of galvanize you. And I don't know if that's what Bruno's job is, but what do you make of that?
Bruno was fantastic in the first half. In fact, like Mason Mount, I couldn't put a foot wrong with him really. Like you're doing your job. But the way I look at it, Angie kind of clocked the striker situation, said this is how you're going to play now. You know, drop the line just a little bit deeper and build off the back that way. And then before you know it, Spurs are popping around the back a little bit. Man United are chasing more. Anthony couldn't get a sniff. Who's absolute. I'm sick of him now. I'm sick. I am sick to death of him. I can't. And that's it. And that's Man United in a nutshell. When you don't have a striker that knows how to stretch the line properly, make them. You know, what would you call it? Them selfless runs. Even though you're not going to get them the through ball to come through to run on goal, but you make that run so you can drag a centre back away. Bruno Fernandes, again, it's like I need an attack. I need one of them centre mids a little bit, be maybe a little bit closer to Rashford, you know. And I think I get it. People, I'm not going to call him Angie. To me, it's Angie, mate. So I don't care if you like it, you don't like it. His name's Angie, mate. That'll give him a nickname. So that's the way I look at it. Angie, you know, he was a bit proactive, changed the tactics up, and you know, Ten Hag got it wrong. Simple as that. You know, I think he went into it.
There's look, before we come on to the Spurs side of things, I'm seeing a lot of Man United fans, though, Kaz, on, again, look, social media can be great, it can be bad, it can be overreactive. I'm seeing a lot of Man United fans on social media that have had enough of Ten Hag. Now, obviously, from the outside looking in, you finished top 4 last year, 2 cup finals. I think those fans, it looks like they were expecting you to really kick on and start the season brightly. It's not really happened, but surely the calls for a manager's head after 2 games is a bit premature, right?
No, this is the thing. You know, United fans get giddy at the first season. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Mourinho. You know, now the next best thing is Erik Ten Hag. You know, get a few players, new shiny toys, play a bit of, you know, you could call it, what would you call it? Counter-attacking football, because you ain't got the tools. And as soon as you get some of the tools, and yes, you get some of the signings wrong, you don't get every signing right.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously, there's a lot of big, you know, Anthony's a big call, I suppose, but, you know, then you know, you say, yeah, I'm going to back the manager and everything. I'm going to wait and be patient. But United fans can't be patient because they want results now. I'm like, do you not realize what situation we're in? You know, he's not, when you want to play systematic football, you need every tool on every part of the pitch. You don't have that. And everyone in his viewership, you could say the Mason Mount one was a disaster class from him, in my opinion, but it will correct it if he gets the extra centre mid that's needed in the next less than 2 weeks, say 10 days. And this is the way I look at it. To call for his head now is stupid. To ask questions is correct, right? We done it last year. We asked some questions like, what's going on here? You know, like in the first 2 games, but you switch it up and you be proactive about it all, and then you move on. So the way I look at it, anyone that's calling for his head to be sacked are stupid, because another manager will come in, the exact same thing will happen. You know, in the second year, you'll question him because you didn't get a couple of results. Yes, he got it wrong, but I believe in the manager to get it right. So that's the way I look at it. And if you can't go through the times when it's a little bit thick and shit, right, then, you know, you don't even deserve to be a football fan. Just go support another team. Go support NBA team or something. You don't need to support football. Go support Real Madrid then. That's what you love. You want to win all the time. Go support Real Madrid. Go support Man City at the moment, or go support Bayern Munich. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, no, listen, it's very, very interesting, isn't it? I think the problem is now, whenever I'm on stream with people, Kaz, every group of fans thinks that their club should be winning and their club should be brilliant. It's never going to be that way, right? You're always going to have, somebody's got to finish first, second, third, fourth. Not everyone can win everything. What I'd like to touch a little bit more upon what you just mentioned there about Mason Mount. I thought the game was won from midfield. I thought that Basuma, Sarr, and Maddison were excellent. I thought they were really, really good. Your midfield's getting a lot of stick that it's not quite right with the Bruno Fernandes, Mount both playing with Casemiro. What do you make of your midfield, and what needs to change in there for you to be better?
No, I just need. It's like last year in the first 2 games. We didn't have a DM. It was proper imbalanced, and then you bring in a DM, and it makes a world of difference. Now, all that midfield needs is more of a proactive. Again, I'm using the word again, but more of a proactive centre mid that likes to play forward, that can shift his body about, and that can actually dribble the ball, not get tackled. So that's where you need a bit of stability in there. Because like Ten Hag, I don't know why he thinks Casemiro can do this job by himself. He's never done that role, never will do that role.
Yep.
And continue to never do that role. He's not Thomas Partey. He's not as fluid as him or a Rodri. He's a destroyer. He's a bit stiff. But if you put something around him, like back in the day, what Luka Modric is and or Kroos to be next to him, all of a sudden he doesn't have to cover so much, because the more he has to cover, the more his legs are going to get tired. Mason Mount and Bruno play exactly the same, except Bruno's more effective at it. That's why it doesn't work. I like Mason Mount in the first half, but again, what standards are we holding this to? Yes, he done a decent job in the first half. He got some tackles in, made some decent passes. Some half turns that he loves to do. But what I want more. I need more than that. Because when we get attacked, I don't feel comfortable. And that's the way I look at it. And Bruno, again, how deep do you need to be? How deep does your third centre mid need to be to go and tackle, a weak side? In my opinion, an okay side. I wouldn't say Papa Sarr had the greatest game anyways. He scored his goal and got confidence from there. This is why I say Ollie Skip was probably more suited to this game. He got his goal though and got his confidence. I wouldn't say it was amazing. Maddison in the first half wasn't amazing. It was the second half. Basuma was the only one that was consistent through all of it, in my opinion. And then Pedro Porro starts growing into the game. Udashi, however you say his name. I heard the commentator. He said "Doggy." That's what he said.
Yeah. Lots of people are saying you're Doggy. Some are playing a Doji. Just call him Destiny. I think we all know his first name is Destiny.
In the end, him doubling up with Son on the right-hand side was what gave the bit of the freedom for me to really drive the Spurs team to go a bit more forward, and everything like that. So that's just the way I look at it. Mason Mount isn't great. He shouldn't be in a side whatsoever. He should just be a utility player. That's the way I look at him. He's never really played centre mid in his professional football career. He only played centre mid during his academy times, and obviously sometimes when he was on loan in a championship in Frank Lampard and all that. Most of his professional career at the top of the game has been on the wings. I think this has been proper misprofiled, and I'd prefer to use him coming off the bench, or he's going to start rotating with Bruno Fernandes, because that's the same player. You can't put two of them. It hasn't worked, but I don't want to be reactionary too much, even though I'm emotional when it comes to my club, But I need to judge it when I see Højlund go up front, and and I need to see another centre mid come in, because otherwise it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah. Sorry, Kaz, I'm not sure if you've just seen the message I've just sent you.
Go on, mate.
If you have a look at the private message.
Hold on.
Yeah. Look, guys and girls, apologies. Something really important has just come up. I'm so sorry. I do need to drop the show. Kaz, I'll pick this up with you later on the week if we can find another slot. If that's okay. Everybody, I'm so sorry. I know we're only 14 minutes in. This is much more important than anything to do with YouTube. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Please like, please subscribe. I'm so sorry, Kaz. Sorry. I will speak to you soon. Thank you very much. I've got to go. Sorry. Bye.